Good morning, Oakwood. Welcome to Temple Terrace. This is the Schneider household, and it's Mother's Day for us. We are getting ready to start church, and we're just excited to be welcoming you here to our home.
Hey, come on in. I'm Carrie. Come join our family.
Good morning, I'm Callie, and I just finished up my sophomore year at Florida State University.
Hello, I'm Colton. I'm finishing up my sophomore year in high school.
Hello, I'm Trey. This is Louie. I'm finishing up some dual enrollment classes at HTC.
Here we are in the Schneider family making breakfast on Mother's Day. Boys, you want to say hello?
Hello, happy Mother's Day.
Then right over here, we have Callie making a delicious parfait.
Happy Mother's Day.
So typically not a normal Sunday morning for the Schneider household with the kids cooking, but it's looking good. One of the things we've been doing over this time is growing some things. So most of this stuff came from seeds. We have some squash, cucumbers, radishes, I did some basil, peppermint. So we're just having fun with a few things. Some of you may know that we've had quail here at our house since about late September. We've been getting eggs from them, and I actually decided to incubate some eggs the day before Easter.
Wow, number 3. This is incredible.
Here's what a chick looks like when it's about a week and a half old. It's been getting its feathers in, and after about 2 weeks or so, we can move them outside. So they're in a brooder right now, and we had 21 total. You know, with all of us being here in the same house during the quarantine, there's definitely been a little bit of yelling.
How I'd love to see a show in that theater again.
Everett, it's not going to happen. In 2,000 years, there has only been one resurrection, and it wasn't a theater.
I hope you guys can join us for the cast production of Crazy for You whenever that happens to happen.
I've also caught the boys in a few fights. We've also been out taking walks almost every day. Here's like a little look around our street that we live on. You can see we've got a big wooded area across the street from us. And that's our house way back there.
It's quarantine time. We have had to continue doing some things that we normally do, such as homeschool and college ministry, mainly online. But we've also been freed up to do some things that we've been wanting to do for a while. And one of those things for me is that I've been wanting to read children's stories, realizing, especially during this quarantine time, that every child could use a good story. And I have lots of books. So I started a YouTube channel called Miss Carrie's Reading Corner. My kids made this for me for Mother's Day. So this is a sample of the last story that I read.
Hi, I'm Miss Carrie, and I'm so glad that you've come to join me in my reading corner. My pick for today is called The Way Mothers Are by Miriam Schlein, pictures by Joe Lasker. And I've had this book since I was a little girl. My mom used to read it to me.
My classes at HTC had an extra week off for spring break, but when everything switched back, they all moved to online, and the school was a lot more difficult and more time consuming. I finally just finished my last class today, so I'm excited about that.
Welcome home. Hello. Just getting back from my first day of orientation at Chick-fil-A. Excited to be working there this summer and investing my time in the kitchen. And another thing I'm going to be doing this summer is taking a theology course with Crew. So super excited about that as well.
Hello, this is Trey and Colton. Every day for about 3 hours we've been streaming on Twitch, so we can play a game. Like right now we have a Shiny Den. So we'll get the Shiny Den and then broadcast it on Twitch so we can share it out with a lot of people. We'll have about 25 viewers, and we've had thousands of people watch us so far, and our channel is growing. The channel is Platinum Dragon 79 if you're interested.
one thing that Callie and I have really enjoyed is singing together. I love having her home. I close my eyes and I can see the world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own. Come stop your crying, it'll be alright. Just take my hand and hold it tight. I will protect you from all around you. I will be here, don't you cry. Oh, you'll be in my heart, no matter what they say. You'll be here in my heart always. Oftentimes when we're in the kitchen, we have worship music playing, so I thought maybe you could join me for some kitchen worship. Alexa, play Blessings by Laura Story. We pray for blessings, we pray for peace, comfort for family, protection while we sleep. We pray for healing, for prosperity. We pray for your mighty hand to ease our suffering. And all the while you hear each spoken need. Yet love is way too much to give us lesser things. 'Cause what if your blessings come through raindrops? What if your healing comes through tears? What if 1,000 sleepless nights are what it takes to know you're near? What if trials of this life are your mercies in disguise? That song has been so encouraging to me during this time. Just reflecting on the truth that God is in control. And another thing that I've been reflecting on is His presence, that He is always with us no matter what's going on. And one thing I've been doing is on Saturday mornings, Emma Harms has been leading a Oakwood Women's Bible study on Zoom over Psalm 23. And there have just been some really sweet truths brought out of that psalm. And one of them is that you're all familiar with is when it says, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. And remembering no matter what's going on, God is with us. He hasn't left any of us, even for those who are alone. God's with them. And another thing I've been doing is on Thursday mornings, I've been doing a little Bible study. We just started in Daniel with 2 alumni, very recent alumni. And Callie, our daughter, has been able to join us because they're actually her friends. So looking at Daniel and his story, it's just another example that I think of often that shows that God is with us. And it's Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego when they're thrown into the fiery furnace. And I always picture Nebuchadnezzar lounging out, watching and going, what? And he jumps up and he's like, what's going on? They're walking around and somebody else is with them. What in the world? And, you know, as the guards that threw them in were immediately killed because of the heat of the flames. And whether that's Jesus, whether that's an angel, he shows us that he's not going to leave us. He's going to walk through the hard times. He's going to walk through the valley of the shadow of death with us. He's going to walk through the fiery furnace with us and bring us out on the other end. And He's going to be with us in the green pastures and by the still quiet waters. And in Psalm 23, he promises that one day we will dwell in his house forever with him. So I've been clinging to those assurances.
Thanks, honey.
Yes.
So, this time has been difficult in a lot of different ways for people, and it's hit people very differently. For me, what's probably been helpful is trying to establish some routines. So even when I'm walking in the morning, usually in the morning, I'm often listening to podcasts. So two of my favorite have been Gospel in Life with Tim Keller. Another is Emotionally Healthy Leader by Peter Scarzaro, or something like that. And that's just been good. It's been a good encouragement, reminder. I was actually traveling overseas when the big shutdown kind of began for America. And so it was just interesting. Each day, we're checking the reports and kind of wondering if we're going to get a chance to, if we're going to make it back, if the flights will still be available. And I was reading through the Minor Prophets during that time and just kept seeing just over and over again, God's character displayed in judgment. And I think about this passage in Acts chapter 17, starting in verse 24. It says, "He is the God who made the world and everything in it. Since he is the Lord of heaven and earth, he doesn't live in man-made temples. And human hands can't serve his needs, for he has no needs. He himself gives life and breath to everything, and he satisfies every need. From one man he created all the nations throughout the whole earth. He decided beforehand when they should rise and fall, and he determined their boundaries. His purpose was for the nations to seek after God and perhaps feel their way toward him and find him, though he is not far from any one of us." And that's just always been such an encouragement to me when I think about Paul speaking here in Athens and this passage and reminder that God determines our times. He determines whether you're going to live in the age of a pandemic or not. We can trust him. We can rest in him, that he's in control. And that everything he does, he's doing so that people might seek him. One of my big prayers or consistent prayers through this time is for us as we think about our ministry with Crew. I'm just asking God to bring in a freshman class that would hunger and thirst for God. That they would understand, that things in life are temporary, but God isn't. And that they would want him above, those temporary things. And beyond the campus, I think about revival potentially in our nation and asking the Lord that he would use this, that people would see God for who he is and turn to him. And so that's kind of been what's been on my mind, my heart. I'm just looking to the Lord as he sees us through this. We've been so blessed to be a part of Oakwood. We love our church. We love our church family. We've missed being able to see you face to face. And we do have a little message for you as we end our video. So thanks so much for joining us for our Oakwood Gathering Schneider edition.
You've got a friend in